Lynn Cullen live in 1 minute. Welcome to Lynn Cullen Live at pghcitypaper.com. Email your questions and comments to Lynn at pghcitypaper.com.
Here he is, our respite. I've been advertising you for weeks. Get closer.
Really?
Get closer.
Thank
Get
you.
closer. You're off the screen.
Closer to the...
Closer to me.
There we are.
There.
Where's the camera? Oh, there it is.
It's just a little
Hello.
security camera. That's all it is.
Did you get security cameras because I'm an Arab?
No.
Let's put the security cameras, make them think it's part of the shtick.
We had security cameras long before you ever showed.
I know, I'm just messing with you.
I know you
Thank
are.
you for having me. I'm very happy to be here.
Needless to say, this guy's a comedian.
Yes.
Yeah, you can tell. His name is Nemr. It's spelled Nemr.
Yes, ma'am.
And means
It means tiger.
raw.
Tiger, and my last name, which you don't have to pronounce, Abou Nassar, means father of the victorious.
Abu is father.
And Nassar
Nassar
is
is-
the victorious.
And is Nassar like Smith in the Middle East? Because I'm thinking of
There is Smith. There's blacksmith in the Middle East. In Arabic, that's Haddad.
Haddad.
Haddad is blacksmith.
Well, you mean Haddad like Haddad?
AD, yeah. So my best friend is
Okay,
Rabia Haddad, which means spring blacksmith. So our names are very poetic.
Yeah.
That's all I can say. Very, very poetic. What's your last name?
My married name?
Either or.
Well, but see, I'm not divorced. But my name that I go by is Cullen, but that...
Yeah, there's nothing.
Or
In
my
Arabic.
regular name is Miller.
Miller.
Nothing.
That means nothing in Arabic. I was just seeing if I could translate it. Miller. No, there's nothing.
Miller.
Miller.
Okay, so I just want you to know this Arab's an American.
Yes,
yeah,
ma'am.
he is.
Lebanese American.
Yeah, but I got to tell you, it's very un-American to be able to speak 2 languages.
I speak 3.
Oh my God! Well, sorry, can't have you.
English,
I mean,
Arabic,
and what?
And a bit of French. Because in Lebanon, you have to speak. You have to learn French, Arabic, and English. Those are the 3 primary languages.
Was that a French colony?
It was a French colony, yes. And the French were very nice. They were like, we're going to bounce now, but do you mind if you keep the language? Because if you keep the language, we'll bounce peacefully. And we're like, yeah, sure. They're like, thanks. And then they left. And every 10, 15 years, they'd be like, you guys good? You need anything? We're like, yeah, we're good. Like, you mind if we stay for a few weeks, like vacation? Come on over.
That's how
S'il vous plaît.
All
Sacré
right.
bleu. And then that was it.
The Vietnamese don't think of them in the same way.
No, of course
must
not.
say
Because
that-
the French came to Lebanon, and Lebanon is it's like Italy. There's the coastal regions and 4 seasons and beautiful weather and women and men and food, and it's so I think they kind of felt like, we don't want to change it. What are we going to do?
Yeah.
What are you going to change this place into? Just if you could use the language, we're like, yeah, sure. And it's great. Learning French is very useful because it helps you if you ever need to achieve nothing in your life. But sound very classy doing it. What do you do? Rien. That's French for nothing. That's why you learn
French for nothing.
Yeah.
Rien?
rien.
Rien. I can't do the R.
In
I sound
French
like I'm gargling.
in French they do r. So if you
not
want to
right.
say, let's say, je m'appelle Nemr. If I want to say Nimmer, it's Nemr.
Nemr.
It's very, very unmasculine.
I still remember. Totally.
Very unmasculine. You can.
So,
That's why they all lose all the wars, because you can't
you can't
inspire
do-
your troops when you sound like that. When you're going.
No, I agree.
Pour la victoire is not going to inspire people to defeat.
And yet their national anthem is extremely militaristic. Aux
Yes.
armes, citoyens.
Yes. Well, I mean, isn't the guy in the bar who talks the loudest talk usually the weakest?
Yes.
So technically, if they were that powerful, they wouldn't need their anthem to sound like that, would they?
No.
Shots fired.
Nor would we need bombs bursting in air.
We did well.
Yeah.
But here it's like, oh, say, can you see? It's a beautiful, positive.
But it is not.
No, but I mean the tune. Do you know what I'm saying?
It's an old British
It's not like,
drinking song.
oh, say, can you see? It's not like an angry.
Oh, I hate our anthem. I hate
What?
our anthem.
Why?
I took a knee 50 years ago on it. I did.
I took a knee 50. You took a knee before it was cool.
That's true. I did.
Setting the
No,
standard.
you can't sing it, and nobody knows what the words or what they mean. If you go out on the street and ask the average American, okay, sing the national anthem for me, they can maybe get "Oh Say Can You See," and then they're done.
Oh, it's the same, but that's every anthem of every country. Like if you go to Lebanon, you ask people to sing the national anthem. We can sing the first 2 lines, and then we hum patriotically. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's our anthem.
Okay.
That's pretty much how it is. But we put our hand on our chest.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, but it's knowing your anthem's tune is more important than knowing the anthem's words, I believe.
I once did a whole show on do people remember their high school alma mater song?
Oh God, no. Who would remember that?
I do.
Everybody should.
Do you? You don't,
Do you
obviously.
do, Celine? As
Where'd you graduate from high school?
Well, in Lebanon. And
Oh, you did in Lebanon.
And our national alma mater was Run!
To the bomb shelter!
Watch out! No, that's unfair. I shouldn't say that because it was very peaceful when I was there. But I mean, except for a few wars and massacres. But apart from that, it was a good old time.
Okay, so listen. Let's get your biography straight because
Yeah.
people are going to be wondering. Since your English is impeccable.
It
Well,
is
li-
so I can execute my plan. I have undergone the training. I was born in Lebanon, but when I was 2, we came to San Diego because of war. We left Lebanon.
Okay.
And I lived in San Diego until I was 11.
Okay.
And then when I was 11, my dad was like, we need to go back to Beirut where it's safe.
It was then. No, wait a minute. Oh, he was thinking what?
No,
San
because
Diego?
the Civil War had ended, and they
Yeah.
didn't like America for bringing up children because they were, DARE was doing their campaign, Say No to Drugs.
Yes.
And you had sketches every day coming to the house of like this, watch out for this guy in the neighborhood. He's like abducting children or whatever. And then milk cartons had these missing children on them.
Yeah.
And my parents were like, what? They were terrified. And they thought we would grow up to not call them and put them in a nursing home or something. Do you know what I'm saying?
So
they're
culturally.
they were like, we're going to go back to Lebanon where, you keep your doors are unlocked. Women walk around in the streets 4 or 5 in the morning. We keep partying till 8 a.m. Nothing happens. There isn't any sexual assault. There's just bombs. But my dad always...
Somehow you felt safe.
My dad was like, you can hear a bomb coming, but a pedophile rapist, they don't make a noise.
That's too fun.
They come in silence.
So they really did. I mean, you're not even.
The bombs whistle.
You're not even joking, right?
No, I'm not.
Excuse me.
That's okay. That's
Yeah, man.
that's usually what happens when I talk about the Middle East.
Yeah. Well.
People, what?
Yeah.
No, I'm not kidding. No, I'm making it funny, but
Yeah.
the reality of the situation is, I live a very harsh and real life, like very real and beautiful, because you have an appreciation for life. When you live in the Middle East, you appreciate the little things. Like, for instance, the gas in your homes here. We don't have gas pumped to our homes in Lebanon. We actually hook up the gas ourselves in our homes. So if we want to cook, you got to have gas. We get them in canisters, and we bring them up, and we hook up the gas ourselves, the tube and everything. But what the Lebanese do, which says a lot about the people, to test if we've hooked up the gas correctly, is we light a match, and we take that fire and we put it to the connection. And my mom, the first time I ever did it, she's like, if it explodes, you didn't do it correctly. It's like, thank you for the advice, Mom.
Jeez.
You will keep doing it until you get it right.
I have been telling my audience that we were going to get a respite with you today because all we've been talking about is the election.
What election?
Oh, God bless
Is there an election going on?
you. Yeah.
I had no idea. Has anybody been speaking of said election?
Oh, God.
Isn't this a great election cycle?
For you.
Amazing. This is my career
So,
right here.
Yeah.
People are like, how do you feel about the election? I'm like, sorry, I need to go and count my jokes because this is getting too much.
Well, you know what? Somebody said 2016, the year that killed satire.
Yeah.
Really? In some ways.
Because it's sad. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it was fun when it was Mitt Romney versus Barack Obama, when it was John McCain versus Obama, when it was Bush versus Gore. You know, it was fun. It was fun for comics, I'm saying.
Really?
Yeah, because you weren't making jokes about a guy or a girl saying very negative things. The lines have been crossed. Do you get what I'm saying?
Totally.
So it's become, but there's still room for humor. My favorite joke to say right now is about Muslims, because I'm Christian, but I like to say about why Muslims might be voting for Trump, because if you remember in the second presidential debate, a Muslim woman stood up and asked Trump and Hillary a question about Islamophobia, and she was Muslim, and she was in a hijab, and underneath her name it said undecided. And people were amazed. They're like, how could she be undecided?
Right.
Why on earth would a Muslim vote for Trump? And it's a very simple reason. It's because they're tired of their relatives visiting from overseas. So they just want, this is a perfect solution. So there's still room for humor. There's still room for humor. I like a more innocent approach to the humor. I don't like to get political. I don't, because I understand that there are good people out there voting for Trump and good people voting for Hillary. Do you know what I'm saying?
Not quite.
I would say, I mean, this is...
really.
To be honest...
Okay, good. Yeah,
good as in,
people.
like, they have families. I'm not talking... Right. Of course, there are racist people on both sides of the aisle. I'm just saying... And I'm an Arab. Trust me, I know a racist when I see one. I'm just saying they're good people. And they're just politically incorrect or misinformed. I'm not gonna hate them for that. I don't like this air of divisiveness. I'm writing an opinion piece right now for a publication, and I'm talking about how America's starting to seem very Arab. In the way, in a very negative, yeah. And whereas the Middle East has always been using America as the example.
I know. That's why that's why I'm so upset, because we're losing.
Yeah, you're losing that thing, because in the Middle East, I can't tell you how many times we've said, you know what's amazing about America? No matter how much they disagree, at the end of it, they shake hands.
That's right.
And they pass the torch, and that's how it is.
That's right. And then we'll lose all that. We've already lost it because of. Okay, let's not talk about this.
Why not? Why are you getting angry? We can still make jokes.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
You see, what's wrong is people are taking it too seriously. It's a very serious matter. But if we're in Lebanon making jokes while ISIS is blowing themselves up, then in America you can still make jokes during an election campaign.
Okay. Would you say, generally speaking, that what passes for humor in the Middle East is the same as what passes for humor?
Yes.
It is pretty much the same?
In America, there are jokes I can't do that I can do in the Middle East, not the other way around.
Because of political correctness?
Yes. I hate political correctness.
I do too.
There's no room for political correctness. Now, once again, there's no room for political correctness as long as what you're saying is clever and it makes sense. Just to say something just to be controversial, no. That's not that... That's stupid.
But political correctness killed comedy.
It didn't kill comedy. It didn't kill it for me. Okay. Because for me, it pushed me to be a bit more creative, to find a way to say something, to make people connect with it, and remind them. By the end of my show, I assure you, anyone who walked in incredibly politically correct walks out saying, yeah, you know what? That was a lot of fun. Do you know what I'm saying? You just have to, it challenges you more. And I don't want to hate on people that are politically correct, but I do want to remind them that the real world is very harsh, and protecting yourself in safe spaces doesn't exist in reality.
Here.
It doesn't. And if you're not going to get ready for the reality of life, there are people in Syria right now. This is a reality I know. Syrian families who've owned factories with hundreds of employees are now working in Subway in North Carolina making sandwiches for people.
Yeah.
This is the reality of the world that I know, and my father brought me up he was like, you have to be a jack of all trades. You got to know how to do this. You got to know. And I'm like, why? And he's like, because when he left Lebanon and we came to America, we had nothing. We had ourselves and our love for each other, and we came here legally and we immigrated and everything, but we came with very little money. And my dad they were like, just work in a gas station. He was like, no, he stayed up all night for like 2-3 months, and my mom helped him. We stretched the budget that we had, and he passed the exam, became a realtor, and he's an engineer and a civil mechanical engineer, and then he did good for his family, and we had a great life. Then the recession hit, and my dad, instead of saying, let's stay here, he was like, we got to prioritize our values. I don't think this is a good place for you guys anymore. We're going to go to Lebanon. We go to Lebanon. I remember we had nothing again, and my dad takes me with him, and he's painting. Not painting like an artist.
No, painting.
He's painting walls.
Uh-huh.
And this is my father, a civil mechanical engineer of the highest order, one of the most brilliant people in the country, was making millions just a few years ago, painting a wall for somebody, getting paid nickels and dimes, making me carry the bucket. And he looks at me and he goes, you know why you're here today? And I said, why? He goes, because you need to know there is never any shame in doing anything and whatever it takes to make sure that your family is taken care of.
Wow.
That's the lesson, the reality that I live in.
Wow.
Now, if I wanted to exist in a safe space, I would have gone post-traumatic stress disorder from holding a bucket while my dad was painting, and it would have affected me, and I would have needed therapy. But for me, when I was 14, I experienced my first straight-up massacre, where, they close down the schools, we turn on the TVs, and you see camera people slipping in blood, and there's a pile of baby bodies and a pile of women parts, and they're trying to combine them, and they're showing this to kids on TV. We didn't get any therapy for it, nor did we need it. Well, I'm pretty sure we didn't. But I mean, we didn't really need it because the reality was this is what the world can be like. And a week later, people were at work as if nothing happened because this is life and we know it.
So Americans are
not all
soft.
Americans. But the new generation are definitely soft.
Soft.
Yeah. The actors are soft, and that's a big... You have to look at the entertainment industry. When you take a look at the entertainment industry and the majority of manly and womanly roles are going to foreign actors who are Australian or British, that's when you know you got a problem. So back in the day, we don't have a Brad Pitt, a George Clooney. There's a shortage. If you take a look at, so you had Meryl Streep, and now you got, what's her name, who's Australian, who just played Harley Quinn?
Kidman?
No, oh God, how could I forget it? Margot Robbie. Margot Robbie. Okay, so Americans used to be the tough, John Wayne, all that kind of Frank Sinatra, this kind of thing, and now you watch... late night TV and everybody's going up in jeans and loafers and T-shirts, and you're like, well, wait a sec. When you watch Johnny Carson and Frank Sinatra's on, and then Don Rickles comes in for a surprise visit, you're like, holy, there is so much testosterone in that room. And then a woman walks in and owns all of them. You're like, this is amazing, and it's classy, and it's stylish. I miss that version.
You sound like an old fart.
I'm not an old fart. I'm a young fart.
Yeah,
you're
nostalgic for another time.
It's not nostalgic. I just like the diversity. I don't like that we're going in one direction. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying?
And you're blaming that sort of on a political correctness.
I'm not blaming it on political correctness. I'm saying political correctness is a result of that. I'm blaming it on too much sheltering. I don't think people are being brought up right anymore.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
We're blaming it on psychologists, baby boomers, Dr. Spock.
I think parents need to hit their kids. I'm just kidding.
That's right. I knew that.
Child abuse needs to become a thing again. I'm totally kidding.
No, he's not.
Not child abuse.
No.
But you can shout at your kid, for Christ's sake.
Tell that to Brad Pitt. Apparently, he's being investigated for...
well, I'll wait to see what really happened. But because I don't want to be that guy who hates on somebody without the facts. Right?
Really? See, you're just not an American. I'm sorry.
I don't want to be that guy.
Much
but
more
if
Lebanese.
After it's all said and done, it turns out that he was abusing the kids or whatever, let him go to hell. But if it turns out she had a post-traumatic stress disorder reaction because he shouted at one of the kids, woman, relax.
Yeah.
You're spending the reason that I find it slightly hard to believe is because Angelina Jolie is a woman that's going
tough.
into refugee camps.
Yeah, she's tough.
She's with United. She's tough. So I would be very surprised if she was like, he told him that he couldn't be an astronaut, and it's like.
Right.
Your parents' jobs are to make sure that their kids know that they will never achieve anything they want. Because your parents aren't supposed to make it easy for you. They're supposed to constantly remind you about everything that could go wrong to the extent that you don't want to see them anymore. And when that happens, if you then achieve what you set out to do, then you freaking deserve it.
Do you have kids?
No, not yet. I can't wait to ruin their lives. Can't wait. I'm so excited. Daddy, when I grow up, I want to be an astronaut. Sure thing. Get a degree first. That's what my dad told me. I studied finance, minored in philosophy.
He must have been thrilled when you decided to become a comic.
He wanted to kill me.
Sure.
I was leaving a family business that I helped build, making a really good living, and I want to leave it to make peanuts. Right? In the Middle East. In English.
Okay. Wait a minute.
My comedy in the Middle East is the same comedy that you'll hear here. It's in English.
Wait a minute. I saw something on YouTube where you're talking about an accident, a woman driving back.
Yeah, I didn't upload that.
And you went totally into Arabic?
That was a seated thing, right? Where I was sitting down, there was a bunch of people.
I can't remember.
That was a TV show.
Okay.
In the Middle East.
Okay. So you
that's
do
like
a lot of
telling a story.
Okay.
No, I actually boycotted media about... That's a 7-year-old clip.
So, wait a minute. So you perform in... the Middle East,
all across the Middle
English.
East. I established the comedy industry from scratch there.
But why not in Arabic if you're there?
I think in English. I don't think in Arabic.
Wow.
I'm American, but I'm Lebanese. I'm a child of this world. Does that make sense? And the thing about the Middle East is I'm the highest selling artist in the region doing shows for 5,000, 7,000, 10,000 people in English.
Okay, so that
as an American.
Now this is weird.
So that pretty much dispels everything you guys think
right.
is the reality of the Middle East.
Right.
They love America over there.
Okay, and so that also tells us that 5,000 to 7,000 people can easily pack someplace to listen to you in English because they understand. We are so provincial and ignorant in this country. We don't speak any other languages. We don't have a sense of other
but I don't think Americans are ignorant at all. I'll be very genuine. I think the onus of getting people to know about you isn't on the people, it's on you. So the Arab culture is one of the greatest cultures of all time.
Well, they're having a little PR trouble now.
I was literally about to say that. What their biggest problem is their PR is horrendous. Because this is a culture that the ABCs that we use were invented by the Phoenicians. Yeah. You're actually speaking Arabic, not English. People don't know that.
It's Arabic. Our writing is
called Arabic numerals. The 1, 2, 3, 4. The number 0 was a
concept.
The concept of 0 was invented by a Muslim. Now, here's the thing. Over 2,000 years ago, the first people to set foot on America were the Phoenicians. Okay? The first battery that was ever made in electricity and the first light bulb was actually about 1,800 years ago in Baghdad. It's called the Baghdad Battery. Languages, science, religion. The sentence, ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country.
He stole that from who?
Gibran Khalil Gibran, and it's quoted, not stolen. He just quoted Gibran Khalil Gibran. He's a Lebanese writer. The fact that today the Middle East has come to be defined by 15,000 people, mainly recruited through Twitter, called ISIS, that's not an American problem. That's an Arab problem. Americans work hard. They wake up early in the morning, they get to work, they put their kids at school. Then they go to work in a job where they have literally very little security. In the Middle East, everybody knows everyone. If you fire me from my job, my cousin will pay you a visit and remind you why you should hire me back, and boom, now I got a promotion. But in America, you could get fired and out in the street in a minute.
It's law of the jungle.
Law of the jungle. You got mouths to feed. When you come back home after that grueling day of work, working for somebody you hate in a cubicle you can't stand, grinding all day long, your kids come home, you're terrified they've been exposed to something bad. Maybe they have, which makes it even worse. Maybe they aren't, so the fear gets displaced to the next day. You sit with them for a bit. By the time you go to sleep, by the time you're done with your day, you put your kids to sleep, you're done with your work, you got maybe 30 minutes, if anything, to yourself. Do we really expect an American to open up his laptop and go, what a great moment to learn more about the Israeli-Palestinian conflict? Really? No, they're going to watch some late night show or something, as they should. The reality of the situation, if you go to the Middle East, why do we know a lot about America? Because the most popular TV show there while it was running was Seinfeld. And then there was Frasier, and even Becker, and like all of the Friends, enormous, still till now, like constantly. The movies, they eat them up. We know more about American actors than anyone than you guys would know here. And why? That's because America's done an amazing job of exporting their current culture. What have we done?
But here, your dad took you, and any siblings you may have, back to Lebanon because to get away from American culture.
But he came here first.
Okay. But American culture
the pitch was so good that it made him come here.
Yes.
But then when he got here, he said to himself, maybe not the best place to always be here for my kids. Because, and I talk about this in my shows, I say that you need to live in more than one place so you can get perspective. So it wasn't my dad didn't like America. My dad loves America. And my dad will always say, and my mom too, they always say, if it wasn't for America, I wouldn't be a comic. Where do you think I got exposed to it? I wouldn't be the man that I am today. The question is, my dad said, he's got what he can get now. These children, my mom and my dad said, these children have gotten what they can from America. It's now time to take them to another place so they can get what they can from there. And when they grow up, they'll have the best of both worlds. That was really why we went. Do you know what I'm saying? My dad, at the end of the day, if I came home and I had done drugs, he would beat it out of my system, and that would have been his solution. But the bottom line is, for them, it's about making sure their kids know what this world is really like. You know, like really like. And that's what I'll talk about in my shows, and that's kind of the perspective I bring there. By the way, tonight at the Pittsburgh Improv.
Yeah, I was going to say, but you want to, I mean, this guy obviously has got a ton of stuff to say.
I'm on a security cam.
And Nemr will be tonight at the
Improv in Pittsburgh.
In Pittsburgh, at the waterfront.
Yes.
And are there tickets still available, do we know?
Are there tickets? Yeah, there are a few tickets still available.
Because this guy sells out. I mean, he sells out thousands and thousands in Beirut. We've got a call.
Oh, great.
Okay. Hello? Hello, caller?
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, I just wanted to interject if they saw Looking for Comedy in the Muslim World, a movie that was out in '06.
By Albert Brooks.
Yeah, were they talking about that?
No.
Oh, okay.
Did you see it? There's a blank look on.
I'm very sorry. I haven't seen it. Hi, by the way.
Yeah, hi. Oh, I'm sorry. I actually thought it was a producer I was talking to. Yeah, it was pretty funny, and it's worth watching.
Wasn't it filmed, though, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't it filmed in India, Pakistan, and Afghanistan?
It could have been.
Yeah, that's not and that's understandably so, but that's not the Middle East.
Right, but it was Muslim. It's the Muslim countries.
Yeah, well, you see, here's the funny thing about Muslims. I'm talking as a Christian, obviously, so I just want to make that clear so nobody thinks I'm talking on their behalf as a Muslim. But here's the funny thing about Muslims. There's a big difference between the Muslim world in the Middle East and the Muslim world, even within the Middle East. So if you go between the Muslims in Lebanon and Jordan and the Emirates are much different than the Muslims that say in Saudi Arabia or the Muslims that you'll find in Kuwait. But if you go to Afghanistan and Pakistan and India, you're talking a whole, I mean, that's not the religion of Islam, that's the culture of people right there that's very, very different.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, looking for, over there, very difficult. But here's something a lot of people don't know, which that's funny about that thing. In the holy month of Ramadan for Muslims, they had the first form of stand-up comic ever. He's called a Hakawati. And the Hakawati is a person who tells stories, and every time after fast, this is for 1,600 years, he comes up, he stands up, and he tells funny stories. So that was like the first. So they've always had comedy, and they've always had humor, and they all laugh all the time. It's just when you go to that part of the world, there's a different story because you've got extremist, dictatorial governments running the show, oppressing women all the time. So that, I wouldn't say looking for comedy in the Muslim world. I'd say looking for comedy in that part of the world would be more accurate.
Okay.
Okay, great.
Okay, thank you.
All righty, bye-bye.
Bye. Move closer. I'm moving over here because I want everybody to see your whole big, beautiful self.
I'm trying to fit in I feel like the hunchback. What do you want to talk about?
He's a big guy.
Yes. We have to
the show is at 8
ISIS.
Okay, the show. Oh, God.
You can't fight ISIS if you're not 6'5".
The show is at 8 o'clock, right?
Yes, ma'am. Tonight at 8.
Are there other people before you? Comics?
Yes.
And stuff? Yeah.
So I have a good friend of mine. Her name is Pistol Sherman. She's a Pittsburgh local, and she's an Instagram comic, and she's going to host the show. So she doesn't do stand-up. She's just going to say hi and everything. So she's really funny, and I'm coming to her hometown, so I figured that'd be cool. And as a feature comic, I don't know who's featuring, but the club is bringing their best, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And then I'm coming up.
You're the headliner.
I'm the headliner, and I'm going to make sweet, sweet comedy on that stage.
So you were on the cover of Rolling Stone's edition, and they have
in the Middle East. Rolling Stone Middle East, yeah.
Rolling Stone Middle East.
Mm-hmm.
And when
they said, "Do you want to be on Rolling Stone America?" I said, "No."
Yeah, right.
Let's just go with that story.
Okay. But still, Rolling Stone Middle East.
Oh, it's the same.
Rolling
It's just
Stone,
yeah.
It's the same logo. It is.
It's in English. It is the same. It's just it's a big deal for.
So you were there because, in fact, you really are the pioneer of stand-up comedy. I mean, you're 33 years old. That's
when I was 20. I've been doing comedy since I was 17. When I was 22, I went professional. 22, 23, and basically that's when I formalized what I was doing, and I did it under the credence of no politics, no religion, one love. And nobody knew if I was Muslim or Christian or Jewish, and I was bringing people of all faiths together, all backgrounds for the first time, and in English. And it started in Beirut, which is the cultural epicenter of the Middle East, and probably the world, and then I spread it across the region, and it was like a revolution more than it was just comedy. And just by not being political and not being religious, it was revolutionary, ironically, because somebody was out there challenging, instead of challenging a party, I was challenging philosophy. Instead of challenging a person, I was challenging an ideology. And that's where, and it was really funny. That helped.
Yeah, that would help. But here's the thing. Do you, because it's such a contentious, an area where there's so much contention, are you putting your your head up.
No, people.
I mean, do you feel?
No.
Do people get angry at
No,
you?
they love me. Because once again, everybody comes to the show. I don't do politics or religion. Why would I offend you? Right? Because once again, it's a very real place. So if you come here and you say, so racial profiling, I like to give this example. Racial profiling in America, a lot of Arab Americans complain about racial profiling.
Right.
Well, in the Middle East, when ISIS started their bombings, if you were Muslim and you had a long beard in Lebanon and you were walking around dressed as a very conservative Muslim, there was a gun put on you immediately and you had to immediately explain yourself. And if you didn't, they would jump on you because they were afraid you were going to blow yourself up.
Right.
Now, a true story that happened over there, a friend of mine who's American Lebanese, it goes to the American University of Beirut, and he's a rapper. He calls himself MC Imam or something like that. And he dresses up like a Muslim imam with a huge beard, and he's an MC. He's walking around in the suburbs in the area where Hezbollah is, right? Which is a Shiite Muslim.
Yeah.
By the way, they make delicious desserts in that territory. Everybody goes there. The funny thing is, they're just ordinary citizens over there. So he's walking. This isn't where the army is. This is just where their territory is. So he's walking around there, hanging out, because he's going to eat dessert. This is a real story, what I'm saying. Dressed up like this imam. Hezbollah is a Shiite Muslim group. ISIS is a Sunni Muslim group. So they're being weary of people who look like Sunni Muslim. This dude walks in dressed like a Sunni imam. And immediately they're telling him to get on the ground. He doesn't speak Arabic, which doesn't help your situation because the ISIS fighters aren't Arabs. They're mainly...
Oh, they're often from
France, America, Europe. They're all speaking English.
Right.
So they're like, what do you... they're shouting at him. He won't say anything. He almost got killed.
Oh, my God.
They interrogate him. They find out he's nothing. They let him go. He goes on TV, enraged, saying this is racial profiling. This is an outrage. And the host looks at him and he goes, do you really have to dress like that? Just like for 2 or 3 weeks. Just 2 or 3 weeks, and then you can dress however you like. Like, do you not see what's going on? Like, Nazi was not the best.
Nazi. No, it was not the best.
Do you not see what's going on? And the thing is, racial profiling comes out of fear. If you want to address it, get rid of the fear. And that brings me back to the point of Arab PR. Do you know what I'm saying? To go and sit in front of an American and say, you're ignorant because you hate Arabs is the dumbest thing you could say. That makes you ignorant. To tell an American person, you're scared, which is why you hate Arabs, for those who do, that's the real situation. Mm-hmm. That's the reality. Now, should you be scared? Obviously not. Absolutely not. That is one of the most beautiful places on earth. But you are scared. That's the reality of the situation. And until you're not scared, I still got more work to do. That's the bottom line. There's no way you can come and tell somebody, even if somebody's racist. Do you know what I'm saying? I've met racist people who don't even know they're racist.
No, I think most don't.
They don't even know.
No.
And they'll get angry if you tell them they're racist. And they're good people. They have families. They want to feed their kids. They look out for them. If you take a look at somebody who says something incredibly racist and you reply with, that's racist, you didn't achieve anything. But if they tell you what they said and you sit there and talk to them and understand why they're saying it and just try to get through to them, that's a better approach. But never call somebody racist. All of us are racist. Our parents are racist. Our grandparents are really. Do we not have grandparents that when they start talking, it's just like, okay, guys, we got to get out of here. This is not going to get right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Doesn't mean they're horrible people.
But so it means it's getting better.
It is getting better.
Yeah.
Dude, this world is wonderful. There's so much negativity going around, but take a look around. Like, seriously, take a look around. Especially the youth today. Like, they do some of the dumbest things on the planet, but they also do great. Yeah, like, who puts an earring in their earlobe and then expands their earlobe?
What is that?
I don't know. But at the same time, those same people don't discriminate against a black man or a black woman, and they don't discriminate against an Asian or anything. Yeah. So that's wonderful. So if the cost of that is expanded earlobes, so
yeah, but do you know when they get to be like your age, older and wiser, and I'm
33. I'm not that old.
Yeah, you're.
I'm not that wise either. I just sound like it.
Yeah.
I'm wise on some things. Yeah.
If they regret that, they've destroyed that. You have to have surgery to repair
that's the same thing I say about tattoos. Especially when I saw a guy with
so you don't have any?
No tattoos.
Me either.
My opinion on tattoos is very unpopular.
Go ahead, do it. But I want to hear it.
It's basically, if you need to put something on your body to represent who you are, then you don't have a strong enough personality.
Here you go.
Because you need to be able to, if you can, the second I walk into a room, people know what's happening. But if I need to brand myself so you know what's happening, then I'm no better than a sneaker. That's how I see it.
So you don't see it as a form of self-expression?
No, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. It's the self-expression. Express yourself. Do you really need to write it down? Like, to put it on a thing?
In indelible ink.
Now, if you get a tattoo because you think it looks cool, hell, I'm with you. I mean, go for it. But don't sit and tell me, oh, I got this tattoo because in 1978 or what's... Shut up, man. Like, seriously, I wanted to mark the occasion of the thing now, but there are some people who get tattoos to remember people who died.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I'm not going to sit and judge them, but if you got a tramp stamp, and it's... tramp stamp is that thing on the lower back. That's what they call it. Do you know why they call it a tramp stamp?
No, I don't.
Because that was originally the way pimps would brand their women. Is they would put a tramp stamp. It would be a stamp with the pimp's name so that you knew who this woman belonged to. But now it's fashion. So that's why it's called a tramp stamp.
So all the more reason for any woman. Is that really true?
That is true.
All the more reason for any woman never to have... You're talking about the tattoo right there.
Now,
the
do I
base of
find
your
it
spine.
attractive? Hell, I'm not saying it's not sexy, but I'm just saying, why wouldn't I get a tattoo? Is for me, I feel that your personality should be the forefront of your representation. And once you start branding yourself, then plus, how are you going to brand yourself for the next 50 years?
I know.
Like, if the tattoo was like, I like those sticker tattoos.
Yeah,
I think those are cool.
Yeah, right.
You,
right,
you put them on your arm, and then you rub them with water, and then you go up to your parents, and then they slap you, and they realize it was a mistake, and then they slap you again for taking advantage of them. That's a good tattoo. That's a story to tell, right there.
God almighty. You know what?
What's that?
I was saying the other day, this comedian's coming on, and I'm a little nervous because I've interviewed comedians, and often they're not funny. They're not funny interviews, and they're not energetic. They're just sort of sitting there. You are just blowing that whole bias of mine
I'm
out of the order.
Is it surprising I'm blowing up?
Yeah. Yeah,
Your
you're
energy
blowing
is just
it.
blowing. Yeah, thank you for the badum-tis right here in silence next to it.
All right.
We're going into hacky comedy territory right now, right?
Like you mentioned, I had Don Rickles.
I love Don Rickles. What a legend.
Yeah.
I love those comics who...
He was scary, though.
But clever.
Oh, yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Not vulgar. Do you know what I'm saying? Not vulgar. Trust. Have you seen vulgar comics today? I'm talking by today's standards.
No.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Like that horrible Tosh person? I suppose you like him. My son has that on. I want to die. I want to die.
I feel so bad now.
You
mean Tosh.o?
I believe I do. You don't think he's vulgar? You don't think he's nasty?
Can I tell you my favorite Tosh.o joke?
Why did I bring it
This
up?
This explains to you that the guy's got depth. The first joke that got me to want to watch more of him was when he was on Leno, I think it was, and he said, Americans are always surprised about how people around the world hate us. He's like, we have a show called Survivor, which is about surviving where other people already live. That's a Tosh.o joke. Thank you very much.
Good.
Thank you very much. So there you go. That's one of the jokes where all the comics in the world were like, oh my God, I can't believe he just said that.
That's good.
Because that took away, that's a joke I could have come up with. Brilliant. Other people survive where other people already live. Can I tell you my favorite Norm Macdonald joke? Because we were talking about Norm Macdonald.
Well, this is funny. We should say, I was late coming in, and I'm racing into the lobby, and the elevator door is about to, and this
Lebanese man.
This tall young man, like, threw his body practically in between the closing doors to let me in, and then actually said, "What floor, ma'am?"
What floor, ma'am? Well, yeah, I mean, what am I going to tell you?
Well, I
should have said it in Arabic. Ayatabit. And then you were like, what's going on?
And then the two of them, he's got a friend here, the two of them start talking about Norm Macdonald. And I'm thinking, gee, I got to tell my guest, Nemr, that I was coming up in the elevator with two guys talking about Norm Macdonald.
I love Norm Macdonald. Norm Macdonald said the funniest thing on, I don't know which show once, where he's like, it's difficult for me being on planes as an Arab. I thought that was the He's like, because I'm wearing my dress and I have my sword. And I have to explain to him that my sword is part of my religion. Hysterical. But my favorite Norm Macdonald joke is the shortest one. He said it on Letterman recently. And when he did the last Letterman show. Did you see that? He cried at the end.
Oh, I did see. I saw it on YouTube
beautiful.
later. He
so
did.
Beautiful. But his joke that I love there, he goes, ID. That's an interesting abbreviation. I is for I, and D is for dentification. I love Norm. Only Norm
could do that.
Could A, do that, and B, kill it. Like, I think his delivery is just second to none. comedy's beautiful. Whether you like or dislike Tosh or Norm or
you
whoever it is,
can't live without
there's always, if you look there, you're always going to find something worth watching.
I was watching a documentary of some woman who's 95 years old, and she said the two most important things in life, you can't ever lose them. You're dead if you lose them. Curiosity and a sense of humor.
And your liver. I think those. I think those are essential. I think there's three things.
Damn.
And your bladder would be horrible.
All right.
Although I think you can. But no, you're right.
Oh. Damn.
This is one of the funnest podcasts I've ever been on.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
I'm serious.
Yeah? Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm serious. Because you're intimidating in a good way.
I am?
Yeah.
What a
In a very
joke.
good way. No, in a good way. It's like, I want to be good enough to be on this show. You make me feel that way. And you don't have any tattoos, you see?
So,
If you were to put a tattoo to represent yourself, it would be on your forehead and it would say boss. And on your chin it'd say lady. So it'd be boss lady.
Well, it just comes from being an old lady. Do you think?
No, you're not an old
No.
lady.
Yes,
Not
I
at
am.
all.
I am.
No,
But
you're just you're a young woman with silver hair. You're the Silver Surfer.
Oh, dear. All right, shut up. Honest to Pete. Nimmer.
Honest to Pete. That's a great one.
That's a Midwest. I'm from the Midwest.
Honest to Pete. For Pete's sake.
For Pete's sake.
Honest. I say for Pete's sake.
Okay, that's
We have a caller?
Yeah, and we can't. We just take them cold. So
Yeah,
why we got
that's
that
what I do in
we
Beirut.
Get wrong we get wrong numbers too.
That's
so
fine.
let's see. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hi,
Hi, Clarence.
Clarence.
I usually hate to call when you have guests on.
Hi, Clarence.
Hi, what's up?
Nothing much, man. Thanks for calling. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to say you're funny.
Oh, that's a great call. Thank you, Clarence.
I mean, I'm one of those people. I'm a connoisseur of comics.
Oh, wow.
You're like a natural comedian. It's
Yeah.
like, he's funny just in conversation. I'm like, that's a funny guy.
Yeah,
Oh,
see, he's just
Clarence,
funny.
thank you so much. You should come to the show today.
Oh, that means I would have to leave my house, and that's
We'll comp you at the. You can go in for free.
ooh.
I'll take care of you. This is a personal invitation from me to you.
Woo, Clarence.
From me to you and anyone you want to bring with you. Are you married or you have a significant other?
Not married, and my significant other just happens to be myself. I'm kind of vain.
Oh, brilliant. That's perfect. You found the perfect match for you.
No, but I have to ask you because have you ever watched Jerry Seinfeld's Comedians in Cars?
Oh, are you kidding me? All the time.
Yeah, that as you're talking, I'm thinking, I wonder if he has comics. You know, Jerry says he likes to hang around with other comics. And do you have like friends that are comics that you just hang around and all the time, or?
Well, unfortunately for me, I spent most of my comedy career in the Middle East. I was the only comic for a while. So my friends were natural comics like myself. I'm not stand-up comics, but ever since I come to America, I love hanging out with stand-up comics all the time. It's just I don't think there'd be people that like people that I meet in Los Angeles, or there's a guy here in Pittsburgh who's running for mayor. His name is Matt Light. I don't know if you know him.
No.
What?
Matt Light. He's the comic sitting right next to me right here.
Oh, Matt! Hi, he's
it's-
right here.
yeah.
What do you mean you're running?
Well,
for
it started out as a joke, but it seems like it's getting traction. So vote Matt Light.
Hey, Matt! I got news for you.
Yeah.
There's not the mayor. There is no mayoral election.
I don't know what
right
it is.
Number 17.
Oh, for next year.
For next year, he
Okay,
started his
all right,
campaign
okay.
early.
Okay.
Do you know what his slogan is?
No.
Make America great again. Make America Pittsburgh again. He says we're gonna Steelers the election.
Hey!
Hey!
Oh, please. Please.
Clarence, we're gonna put your name at the door tonight.
Okay, Lynn could give you my last name. I don't like to put it all on. But you know what?
You don't have to.
Wait.
Your last name, I'm gonna give you a last name. You come in and say this, and they'll let you in. Are you ready for this?
Okay, go ahead.
It's Clarence Abou Nassar. Can you say that?
It's his name.
My booty's big.
Yep, that's it. Clarence,
My booty's big.
Clarence, my booty's big. You're at the door tonight. We'll see you tonight.
Okay.
8 o'clock.
Say hi after the show, yeah?
All right.
All right, brother. Thanks.
Great,
Thanks
bye.
for calling.
Bye. Bye.
I like Clarence.
I like Clarence, too.
Clarence is a good man. Clarence, my booty is big. Make sure that's what they put. At
He's
the
got
door.
it. Clarence, my booty
Because that's
is
what he's
big.
going to come in.
Clarence is what do you call it? Caricaturist. He's an artist.
Really?
Yeah,
How do you know that?
because I know him.
Oh, I thought from his voice you could tell. I've been doing this for so long, I know things.
Okay, so here, that's interesting. From his voice,
Yes.
how do you picture Clarence?
He's definitely a black man. He's bald, and he is single.
Well, that you knew.
I figured 1 out of 3, I'm sure.
But you've got... How did you know he was bald?
I can tell. I know what a bald man sounds like.
And you knew he was black?
Well, big booty.
Oh, that was the giveaway.
No, but plus the way his accent, he sounded like a black
Really?
man. Yeah.
I didn't think he did.
And I mean that as a compliment.
Yeah,
I think black
yeah.
people are the leaders of what's cool in this world.
Oh, without a doubt.
I love black people.
Oh, come on,
Just the fact
without a
that
doubt.
every cool genre of music is trying to be black is proof enough. From
Exactly
Elvis
right.
all the way to Justin Timberlake.
I know. We just keep... Yeah, American culture is just ripping black people off.
Well, I don't think it's ripping black people. The cultural appropriation thing, I know but this is what confuses me. Maybe you can educate me on this.
No, I don't think there's wrong with... No, we appropriate it.
No, but I mean...
Because we love it. That's what's great about America.
But what shocks me is that, so as Lebanese people, when JFK said, "Ask not what
You
your
were
country,"
proud.
we were like, JFK just quoted one of our... But I
Here,
feel like
it's-
today we would accuse him of cultural appropriation.
No, that's bullshit. And that to me is that political correctness
Okay,
bullshit
I understand.
gone awry. No.
Okay.
I'm just, more melting pot crap. I love that. I just love that.
I mean,
we
isn't
take
America
on-
about the melting pot?
I thought it was.
It is. You know, this whole thing right now is people are forgetting what America's really about because
Yeah,
they
but
say
that's so scary.
sensationalism is.
Yeah.
I know scary. This isn't scary.
Okay.
This is America. Listen, you walk down the street right now. Okay, fine. There's a crazy dude on TV and a woman that depending on who you're supporting, one of the other or both are crazy, saying stuff on TV, and they're getting coverage. But it's no more than somebody who has a video that gets a lot of views on YouTube. It doesn't mean it defines who we are. This is America.
We've got a call. I was going to look for service.
Oh,
but
say, can you see?
Let him through. And early light.
Yes.
Hello.
So, hello. I'm calling because I want to know if by listening to my voice, if he can tell if I have a.
Well, now you're disguising yourself. I don't know what you really sound like. I can tell that you're changing your voice. That I can tell.
What do you want him to tell you?
Well, am I bald or do I have hair?
You sound like you have the character that you're playing is a white man in his mid-40s who has hair but a receding hairline with a wonderful family.
Is he right?
Close enough. Close enough.
All right. Well, that's cool.
What did I get wrong?
Yeah.
What'd you get wrong?
I am completely bald.
Oh, you see, but you sounded like you had a bit of hair. Are you sure? Maybe you don't know. Maybe you just found out.
So that could be it.
You think so? That's possible. That's possible. But you have a wonderful family.
I would like to think so.
I think so because in your voice, I can hear the voice of a man who has love and loves a lot. So that's why I know that.
God, what
Wow.
bullshit.
I'm serious. What do you mean what bullshit? I can tell. I can tell when somebody is in love and has people who love him.
Okay.
Because look, he started the phone call with a chuckle. Who starts a phone call with a chuckle in 2016?
I thought he started it with a challenge.
No, he said hello. It came out like that. That's the voice of a man that you
All right.
want to hang out with and have a beer.
Yes, because, well, the show has made me laugh here on what is the last day of the week for me, because I am in the Middle East, and Thursday is our Friday.
Oh, where are you calling
It's
from?
our Monday. I am currently in one of the Gulf states.
Oh, this is Bree.
Yes.
Oh, how close was I to his description?
Well, I haven't seen Bree in ages.
Close enough.
He's pretty close.
It's
Your name is Brie? There's a cheese called Brie.
many years.
Spelled different.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So where are you now? Abu Dhabi?
Yeah, I'm in Dubai.
Oh,
Dubai, beautiful city.
I've been in many other places, but here for at least a few months at the moment. The question I wanted to ask was, I'm not familiar with the comedy scene in this region. What is it like? So you've been where do you play? I don't think there are any comedy clubs per se. Usually,
No.
they sort of everything that is a concert or an event is sort of staged somewhere else. Like a racetrack, a horse racetrack.
True. Yas Arena, stuff like that. This is so cool. Well, I implore you to check out a site called Dubomedy. So D-U-B like Dubai, and then Omedy from comedy. And Dubomedy is your Dubaian comedy troupe, and they're a super professional, incredible band of comics who do shows regularly, and they bring in a lot of international artists. They recently did the Dubai Comedy Festival where Dave Chappelle was there, Trevor Noah was there, and a bunch of Arab comics who were just so happy to be in the presence of greatness like that were there, who are great comics in and of themselves. And Kevin Hart was in Dubai a few months ago. So you're in a great place to catch some comedy. Check out Dubomedy, Dubomedy, and see what they got going on. Their main comic is a guy called Ali Sayed, and he's a wonderful, wonderful man who's done a lot for that region. And his wife is an Italian woman called Mina, and she teaches acting and improv and stuff like that. So they've done a lot for the comedy scene there, and respect to them. Yeah.
So cool,
Or
Bree.
jump over to Lebanon the next time I have a show and catch a real show there. You know what I'm talking?
Yeah. Cool. Thanks for calling, Bree.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
It's a nice guy.
He's been listening to me. I've been on the radio in this town forever. He's been listening since he was a college student at Syracuse. This has to be so. It's a weird way of knowing people from
That's wonderful.
It is, though.
He called from Dubai.
Yeah.
That's when you know he's making good money.
Dubai.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello, hi. This is Sean Hickenbottom, first-time caller, long-time listener. Love the show.
Thank you.
Hi, Sean.
I had a question for Matt.
Matt, Sean Hickelbomber wants to ask you a question. Wait, hold on. Let me give him my headphones. One second.
Yeah.
So he can hear you.
Hello?
Hi, is this Matt?
Yeah.
Hey, it's Big Fan, Matt. How's it going? Hey, I have a couple questions for you. One, what's your take on Broadcast 65, and are you going to be at the Improv tonight?
No, I'm not at the Improv tonight, but you should still go. And Broadcast 65 is, they suck.
No, that's mean.
Oh, okay.
That's mean.
All right. Dad, can you stop calling?
What is this? You've absconded with my show.
Is he gone? I think he's gone.
I think he went away.
I don't know who that was.
I didn't hear
It
what
was
you were
somebody.
saying. Who was that?
He doesn't know.
Hickenbottom is the name he used.
Yeah, but that's not his name.
No.
That's Shawn Michaels' wrestling name.
Oh, that's
Shawn
brilliant.
So it's a wrestling fan.
Because he does comedy with a wrestling twist. He body slammed Matt Light body slammed a dude on stage. It was an act. But he body slammed the guy and popped it. You haven't seen the video? It's one of the coolest things you'll ever see.
Well, that is totally cool.
He's like Tosh.0, but you'd like him.
You want to see my picture with Ric Flair?
Yeah.
Yo!
I can show you.
Yo!
Yeah. Woo!
Yeah.
I want to kill him for that woo because it's infecting. You go to a baseball game now, trying to enjoy it. Some jerk starts out there, woo! I just think, shut up! God, I hate it.
Oh my God, you are so awesome.
Oh,
I like. You see, this is why I like the generation before me, because they have statements like, "I hate that people are saying woo." Do you know what I'm saying? I hate their expression of joy. How can we stop this? See, come to the Middle East. We'll show you how.
oh dear. That's what I wanted to look. Do you know my this will sober us up. You were talking about how Americans we get scared at the stupidest thing. We don't have a clue.
Well, sometimes, and then you go to Oklahoma and people are running at a hurricane with a shotgun and the American flag. So I don't. This is the most. This country is the weirdest place.
It is.
In the
It's
world.
nuts.
They're terrified of terrorists that are not even remotely even here.
Right.
But a hurricane is like America, and they're out there fighting a hurricane. Jesus Christ! I love this place.
So there's this poor guy is blogging from Mosul right now.
Mosul, Iraq. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's and you read what he's going through. He keeps posting, and it's
Has anybody told him that maybe he should leave?
Well, he even addresses that. He's afraid to leave because he says people who are going are just going to be mowed down. That
Well, is this an Arab guy or an American dude?
No, he's an Arab.
Oh, yeah. Well, they can't leave.
No, he's totally stuck.
Yeah, he's stuck because if they leave, they kill you.
And he says they ISIS has booby-trapped all the bridges.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
That's what happens when you fight. When they tried to come into Lebanon, they sent 3,000 of their forces to our border, and we were fighting them. They would take something called Captagon. So these people aren't trained. These are people from Twitter, like lonely people on Twitter who get recruited. They come through, and they're basically taking something called Captagon. They're armed to the teeth with American weaponry, which they took from Iraq. They get to the border, but they're not trained, so they don't know tactical maneuvers or whatever. What they do is they take Captagon, which is a mixture of ecstasy and coke.
Yeah.
So they're basically like Al Pacino and Scarface on steroids.
That's right.
And they run out by the thousands. And I was speaking to military in Lebanon. They were telling me, we can't, unless it's a headshot, they don't go down. They will. They stay effective for like 2 to 3 minutes, and they can cause a lot of damage. So they're sitting there trying to headshot them one by one. And let me say something: respect and salute to the Lebanese army, which is one of the strongest armies in the world, because we have no air force. We have a navy, which is. I swear you could destroy our navy with 6 speedboats.
What? It's a pontoon boat sitting in the harbor?
If you had a guy with an oar, he could take on the navy. Like a guy with an oar boat and a handgun, you'd be like, bring it on. So it's but the military, because we've so many years of civil war fighting, urban warfare, which is in between buildings and fighting terrorism and fighting. You have heroes, and here's an example of something. ISIS sent in 53 suicide bombers. We share a border with Syria, so it's a war zone. 53 suicide bombers, and they started blowing themselves up in hotels because we're a touristic place. So to stop it, by the 3rd suicide bomb, the tactic was they would find out which hotel one of them would be in. They wouldn't clear the area and send in negotiators. They would bust down the door and lunge at the guy, trying to catch him before he detonated. And it took 3 tries until they got it right, meaning we lost about 12 people, but they wouldn't stop because they knew if they caught one, they could catch the rest, or else everybody's going to end up blowing themselves up.
Wow.
They caught one, finally. There were 2 in a room. One guy blew himself up. We lost 3 people. But another police officer caught one of them, and they didn't die. And then they did a press conference, and they said, tomorrow we will have the remaining, there were like 48 remaining, or 49. And a reporter was like, how do you know you're going to get him that soon? And he just looks and he goes, tomorrow we will have the... And I swear to God, the next day. Day. They used very convincing...
They tortured the guy.
No!
They tortured the guy.
Listen. They played Justin Bieber music for about 6 hours straight, and the guy's like, I'll talk!
That would do
No, I'm kidding. I don't know what they did, but they took care of the situation. And they had to because people were dying.
How is Lebanon hanging in there in the midst of all this? Because
Lebanon is a population of 4 million.
It's it's not a big place.
In the past 3 years, we've taken in 3 million Syrian refugees. So that's like America absorbing about 280 million.
Do you believe
in
that?
3 years.
And we're flipping out that
we're
taking
it's ridiculous.
10,000.
So 3 million Syrian refugees. We haven't had. Here's the thing: nobody's picked up the trash in the country for 2 years. We don't have electricity.
You don't have garbage cans. Where did I?
No, we do. But the companies
right.
that pick up the trash. Here's the thing that people need to understand about the Middle East, about Lebanon. We're not allowed to control our destinies. America and Russia, they fight their war in Lebanon. So for us, we haven't had a president for 3 years.
I didn't think so. So how does your
We haven't had a president for 3 years because we haven't been allowed to choose our president yet. So let me paint this picture for you. No president for 3 years. Nobody's picked up the trash in 2 years, and the reason that nobody's picked it up is because the corruption. We still haven't been. America and Russia have yet to decide where we can throw our trash. So nobody's picked up the trash in 3 years. Nobody's in 2 years. Haven't had a president in 3. 3 million Syrian brothers and sisters, and I say that lovingly, came into our country, but still, as an infrastructure, that's almost 100% of the population. The traffic is so bad that a 10-minute drive will take you about 3 hours sometimes. The internet is, you can't even talk about it.
What do you mean?
With barely any internet. Like, the internet's horrible, which is bad for the economy and for competitiveness, besides the traffic and all of that stuff, so it hurts. And our border is Syria and Israel and the sea. I just gave you that image, right? This is currently the most stable place in the Middle East.
Yes, it is.
It's also currently one of the most beautiful places in the world. And people are like, how is that possible? And the thing is, the Lebanese people have been through so much that you can throw all of this at us and it won't even slow us down. We're just like, we got this, don't worry. I always liken the Lebanese people to somebody running with ankle weights. But instead of ankle weights, we're wearing an entire body weight and pulling a car behind us. But at the same time, the day that it comes that we're allowed to govern our countries again will be the day that we take those off, and you're going to see a revolution over there. That's already started. It's already starting because when 3 million Syrians come into the country and you have an open border with ISIS, and they're not able to infiltrate the country's mind and its spirit. You know, people are like, "Oh, the Middle East is always going to be terrible." When I tell them what the Middle East is dealing with, then they're like, "Oh, okay, so actually the Middle East is doing really well because we're dealing with ISIS, Russia, America, China." Do you understand? Like North Korea, all of these places have a stake.
That's what you get for being the cradle of civilization.
Isn't that horrible?
Well, I mean, and if you look at the Hanging Gardens of Lebanon was always, and Beirut
is
a more sophisticated city than Paris.
Yes,
I mean, it was
definitely.
all known. But, geez, I hope you get your country back.
We got it back on the ground, but we haven't been able to govern it the way we wanted to. But we've gotten it back. I mean, the country it's back. I mean, I'm telling you, Sia was in Lebanon 2 months ago.
Was she?
Bryan Adams is coming in a few months. Diplo was playing in Lebanon yesterday. Sting, Red Hot Chili Peppers, all of them. Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg came and filmed a video clip. If you go see a song from called I'm the Homie. Everywhere I go, it's a great song. It was filmed all in Beirut because the police were posing with him and like pulling out their handguns and stuff. And he was like, "This place is amazing!" Like, he's like, "Why is this guy pulling out a gun?" He's like, "I'm police, don't worry." And they're like taking pictures, and they're like, "You want to hold it?" And it's just like it's a fun place.
Okay, speaking of fun place, where it's going to be a fun place is tonight over at the waterfront. And Nemr is the headliner. This is the guy who brought stand-up comedy to the Middle East. And you're fantastic. Showtime is 8 o'clock, and tickets, $20 is the cheapest. And
yeah, $20 is the cheapest.
$35, I think, is
it goes up to $6,000. But it includes a ticket to Lebanon. No, I'm kidding. It's $20 and $35.
Well, what a pleasure.
The pleasure was mine. Are you kidding me? This was the funnest podcast I've done. I'm serious.
Hey, thanks.
I got on TV and on a podcast.
Nemr, ladies and gentlemen, spelled Nemr. You are wonderful.
Thank you so much.
And good luck in your
Vote Matt Light 2017.
Matt Light for mayor. Okay. Thank you so much. See you tomorrow. Bye.
Lynn Cullen Live, Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. and archived at pghcitypaper.com. The opinions expressed on Lynn Cullen Live are those of the host and do not necessarily reflect the viewpoints of Pittsburgh City Paper, Steel City Media, and its advertisers.